Good evening. This is the leadership class NL8-1, and I am Donita Greene. I want to take a few minutes to talk about the 4 topics assigned. I'll start with contingency leadership theory. A good leader in an organization needs to be able to adapt to various situations that occur. Leadership styles that work in one situation may not work in another. Fred Friedler developed the leadership contingency theory based on these factors. What I gleaned from this week's reading, Leadership Contingency Theory acknowledges that there is no one single best style of leadership. Lusser and Akua's definition is contingency leadership theories attempt to explain the appropriate leadership style based on the leader, followers, and situation. In a website called Changing Minds, contingency theories are a class of behavioral theories that contend that there is no one best way of leading and that leadership style that is effective in some situations may not be effective in others. This definition is in close proximity to the one in our text. It goes on to mention that leaders must adapt their behavior to a given situation rather than employees changing their behavior. Criticism of this theory is that leaders should not have to change styles. The context of the position should be changed. Next, we have the leadership continuum theory. Robert Tannenbaum and Warren Schmidt are known for developing this theory. According to Lusser and Akua, this theory's definition is that leadership behavior is on a continuum from boss-centered to subordinate-centered leadership. This is based on 7 leadership styles, which range from the leader making decisions with no open discussion, autocratic, to letting employees make ongoing decisions, which is participative. The premise of this theory is that a leader can move from one level to another, thereby decreasing the need for manager intervention and increasing the freedom for employees. There are 3 additional variables that must be considered before selecting one of the 7 leadership styles. Those 3 variables are the leader's personality and behavioral preferred style, the employee's preferred style for the leader in regard to personality and behavior, and the situation, the organization's size, structure, goals, etc. The criticism of this theory is that it is very subjective when looking at the 3 factors in selecting one of the 7 leadership styles. The next theory is the path-goal leadership theory. Robert House further developed the path-goal leadership theory and model, which was based on the development originally by M.G. Evans. This theory, as I read it, is based on determining a leader's style or behavior that fits the employee and work environment to achieve the organization's goals. The leader needs to motivate the employees in order to attain the organization's goals. This is done by explaining to the employee how he or she will be rewarded, and then giving the rewards that mean something to an employee and that serves his or her needs. There are 4 leadership styles to attain these goals. The directive style is where the leader provides high structure because the employee ability is low or the task is complex and ambiguous. The supportive leadership style is where the employee does not want autocratic leadership and their ability is high. The participative style uses employee input in the decision-making process. Employees want to be actively involved and their ability is high. And finally, the 4th style is achievement-oriented, where the leaders set difficult but attainable goals, expect followers to perform at their highest level, and reward the employee for doing so. Criticism of the path goal theory is that it can often be difficult to determine which style to use when. Finally, there is the leadership substitute theory. This theory was developed by Stephen Kerr and John Germier. As I previously mentioned, one leadership style does not work for every situation. Therefore, not every leadership theory will work for a given situation. So, there are the leadership substitute theories. Lussier and Achua state that there are factors outside the leader's control that have a large impact on outcomes than do leadership actions. They go further to state that the substitute for leadership include characteristics of the subordinate, task, and organization that replace the need for a leader or neutralize the leader's behavior. Therefore, substitutes for leadership make a leadership style superfluous. Two examples of neutralizing a leader is automation or self-managing teams. In these instances, the leader's sole purpose is to fill in any gaps that may exist. The criticism for this theory is that some aspects of the theory are supported, while other aspects are not. In conclusion, the most effective leadership style in my organization is the contingency leadership theory. My co-leader and I are relationship-oriented, but we're also task-oriented. We're both relationship-oriented, but I am more relationship-oriented than he is. He is more task-oriented than I am. However, between the two of us, our employees get our goals accomplished either out of respect for him, the length of time he's been in this business, and his power, or at times for me, because they know I'll do anything for them and be there for them and with them on the personal sides of their lives, and they love and will do for me because of that, as well as the power that I carry. Also, they know that I will go to bat for them in situations where there are possible conflicts with him. In addition, I have to say that we also use the leadership continuum theory. A personal model for this theory would be that we meet with our staff and ask for suggestions on how we can improve communication between the families we serve, the employees, and the co-leaders. It's a three-dimensional communication issue. The employee suggests a method for that communication, and we begin to use it. New employees come in and are given instructions or standards on our communication. However, the new employees and later the employees who suggested the implementation months ago appear to take us back to communication levels that do not serve our needs. So, the two co-leaders meet with the staff again, discuss how the suggestions that were implemented per the employees worked for a while, but now everyone is back in a place where communication is suffering again. We then go through the process again, initially without the presence of the two co-leaders, and input as they discuss the issue. So it has our presence and our input is not available at the time that they're discussing originally the issue. They bring us a plan, and we go with it to test and determine whether it will work. After the trial period using this new method, we meet once again and discuss how it's going. We may have to move further up to a more autocratic process, or if it's going well, we continue on using that method as is. We want our employees to help us make decisions because when they're vested in our goals and work, we all win. They feel a great sense of accomplishment, and we have satisfied customers. I'm also a person who, when I was a subordinate, appreciated being consulted about decisions that needed to be made or allowed to, quote, do my thing within set limits. That's really my preferred style. I would suggest that we use the leadership contingency theory most when we are dealing with our customers, and the leadership continuum model the most when we are dealing with internal processes. Thanks for taking the time to listen, and I look forward to sharing your videos with you.